Got it.
Hey, Shannon.
Hello.
Morning.
Hey,
Hello.
good morning. Finally, we get to talk to Shannon MacMillan.
I know. Sorry about that, Hector.
No, it's all good. I've been waiting for like 2 years now. That was the person on my checklist.
It hasn't been that long. Come on.
Hey, did you know Mary Beth? Mary Beth, right?
Hi, Mary Beth.
Hi. Now you do.
Now I do. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, exactly. Virtual.
Yeah, she'll be here keeping me on my toes as usual.
Yes, someone's got to do it. That's a tough job.
Right? Exactly.
I was gonna say, but yeah, collection.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know you're like multitasking right now with Loyal and with Angel City. So I haven't kept up that much with Angel City, unfortunately. I've been watching a lot of the wave stuff going on, but
you're missing out.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I know you got Christian Press, but after that, I don't know. Did you guys sign anybody big? What's the deal with you guys?
The next number 8, Julie Ertz.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
I don't know if she's officially signed yet, but I know we got traded her rights, and I would imagine she would sign, but who knows?
Yeah, no, that's cool. And I'm waiting for the rivalry. This will be more on my end. It'll be more of a rivalry thing that we're going for, like San Diego versus LA, kind of, and all that stuff. But like, Mary Beth, you want to start it off? And I'm sure you got some questions for her as well.
Yeah, I mean, my first one is really kind of more of a comment, and then I would love to hear your thoughts on it. But it's, like you're the most decorated player in, soccer history, essentially, in the United States. Hall of Fame. You've coached, and you have your hands in the Loyal. You have your, an investor in the LA or Angels FC and the Sharks. The youth side of it all. And I feel like you're single-handedly carrying U.S. soccer. How does that feel?
That's a bit generous, but thank you. I think what's important to me is I grew up here in Escondido, just up the road, and if not for soccer, I kind of shudder to wonder what would have
a dog.
That's okay. I shudder to wonder what would happen and what my life would be like, because soccer opened the door for me to even get an education. It afforded me the luxury of being able to go to a great University of Portland, get an incredible education. And playing up there, it just taught me so many life lessons about, that it's okay to be female and be strong and powerful and kick butt and not think twice about it. It taught me about leadership and the confidence and the teamwork, time management, all the many life lessons that sports can afford. And then from there, I got fortunate to get an opportunity with the national team. So as I retired, I kind of, hit a honest low of what in the world do I do now? We went from this environment where we lived on the road because we didn't have a pro league to all of a sudden, and literally the schedule under your door, you woke up and just followed the schedule. You didn't really have to think much outside of what movie are we going to go see type thing.
Right.
To phasing into the real world of how do I get that high? How do I match that high and that intensity and that camaraderie of the team? And I sat with it for a little bit, and then I realized, soccer was so amazing to me. I have to give back to the game. And it's so important for me because my college coach was my mentor and my everything. And it's the impact he had on my life, I had to try to pass that on. And so that's why I went into coaching. Been with the Sharks, Del Mar Carmel Valley Sharks for, it's about 13, 14 years now.
Wow.
And it's the youth side of the game. And then through Loyal, opened up the opportunity. Landon reached out and wanted me to come on board, and spoke with the Sharks. They were understanding and supportive of me taking on some of this too. So, just an effort to continue to grow the game in San Diego, and most importantly, just empower the next generation, whether it's boys or girls or whomever. Just let them know that the dreams are possible. They take a lot of hard work, they take a lot of sacrifice, but it's so worth the journey.
And I love that too, that you are carrying, encouraging children to go for it as adults. I think it's very sad to me when, parents just think it's a kid's game. Thinking of it as a career is not an option, which I love that it's growing. And I love that, again, you are single-handedly growing it on all of the levels. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super fortunate, being here and the Loyal, it's so much about the community, and that's, I was kind of just an advisor to Landon. Then I kind of was doing the commentating. I was in the booth calling all of our home games and doing some stuff like that. And then Andrew Vasiliadis, our owner, and Ricardo came to me and said, we want you more involved. We want you to come in and have more of an impact. And so I'm so thankful to them. One, that they, let's be honest, it's a male sports. It's a male driven society,
Yeah.
brotherhood, so to speak. It's all right, Hector. And the fact that they value women leadership.
Sure.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. What's great is our leadership team is 60-40 male.
Wow.
But within the office and everything, it's 50-50. And so that there's a value placed on, it's not about your gender. It's about, what do you know? What's your passion? What do you want to do? So I'm so thankful for that and the opportunity here, while also being able to juggle Sharks and continue giving back to the game on the youth level as well.
Yeah, and you know what, Hector, I'm sorry, I'm just
No,
gonna
go ahead.
this was one of my questions, and
I got
since we're
Donkey
here,
Kong
we may as well
questions, so go
address
ahead.
it.
Let's go.
I just wondered, being part of LAFC, is that are you going to have to adjust any of the roles? Will you be able to continue in the same level?
Yeah, so
whichever level you choose, I guess.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So what happened with Angel City was, when they first came to market, Natalie Portman being one of the driving forces of just like, why doesn't LA have a team? And so she brought in a really great group. Julie Ehrman's at the helm of that. And she reached out to Julie Foudy and Mia Hamm and said, hey, you guys want to come in as investors? And you want to talk about the consummate teammates, it's those two. And their response was not, yeah, we're in, was, hey, do you know how many former national team players live from LA down to San Diego?
Exactly.
And they were like, well, not really. And so out of that there's a group of 12 of us actually. So we formed an LLC, we're the Angels 12, and we are, small part investors. But I think the beauty of it is they, rely on us for some soccer stuff, using our names and faces to help promote the game still. So it's a great opportunity, but it's not more on a silent level, I would say. So, we are all season ticket holders. We will have probably the rowdiest section. We're going to rival the supporters groups up there for Angel City.
Awesome.
Between all of our families. I know my son, who he's 12, he kind of loses his mind at the Loyal game. So I'm afraid to see him up there. But we are, just supporters and advocates for the game and helping grow it. So we're very fortunate to be a part of that. It's such a well-run organization. Julie Ehrman's brought in a great team around her to build the game. And we're excited to kick off and get up there. And I'm waiting for that schedule to drop so I can see. My family's already told me they're going up to Angel City no matter what. So if I have something loyal, I might be I have to miss a game up there or something. But
you'll be represented.
Yes, my son will be in his MacMillan 8 jersey for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because also Serena Williams is one of your investors too, right?
Serena Williams and her husband and their little daughter.
That's super cool. And that leads me to you. I think you might have mentioned it, but like, how are you going to be able to juggle Loyal? Also, Angel City take priority over Loyal, or vice versa? How are you going to be able to juggle your schedule now?
It's a tough call, Hector. I'm trying not to go there mentally until I see the schedule. But I'm hoping it's opposite days so that we can, take care of business down here, get on the road, go spend the night in LA, watch the game, and come home. But it's a lot of, but, for me, my family's my priority, my son, and the ability to take him to school, pick him up every day and be present for him is the priority. So everything else falls under that.
Right.
So I'm fortunate that he doesn't want to play the game, but he loves watching it and yelling. So I'm fortunate for that because it is such a massive part of my life and he gets to be a part of it.
That is interesting that he doesn't want to play, but he's a big fan, especially at 12. Like, that's a tough age to convince, to be into something.
Yeah, he has the luxury of, especially during the summer, of going down to training and meeting the guys.
Oh, wow.
I think, Joy Fawcett, my teammate and still one of my dear best friends, she had kids while we were playing. And she, to this day, swears her kids are so well-rounded, all three of her girls, just because they grew up on the road with all these different personalities and they took something from everybody. And so, I appreciated that as she was going through, but now to see my son go down to the field and, have Charlie Adams come up and talk to him and take a minute to sit down next to him and just watch, it's like it melts my heart. And to see Braden interacting and, so then he goes to the games and he's tied to these players. So, if Colin Martin gets fouled, Braden's standing arms in the air like referee, he has that connection with them. And I think that's what's special about this team too, in general, is they want to make those connections. They want their stories out there so that San Diego as a whole really buy into this organization.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's also because obviously there's a lot of passion there. You know, I know you guys are going to be sharing Torero Stadium until Snapdragon. Oh, not San Diego Wave is anyway, but pretty much in terms of the NWSL itself, like what's the do you think there's going to be any in terms of, I know there's a lot of drama last year going on. Are there anything besides what's going on with the players? Has everything been solved in terms of the negotiation with the players and the owners, that there won't be any glitches, do you think, this year?
I sure hope so. You know, I think that's, even if they, you know, the CBAs met and reached and agreed upon, I think there's still plenty of conversations that need to be had moving forward. And I think there needs to be more diligence and mindfulness about certain hires and these coaches getting recycled from one club to another, and you know, not really just taking care of it and getting them out of the game, you know, because the players first and foremost should worry about their health and well-being and being able to be the best soccer player, not this other abuses and stuff like that. So I hope so. I think, you know, the best thing for the league will be to get those women out playing and getting everybody back to what they love, but at the same time, not at the cost of having growth and serious change in the game.
Go ahead, Margaret.
Absolutely.
You got one more?
Yeah, well, and this is another light one. As a San Diego girl, quote unquote, are you torn at all internally?
Yes, of course. You know, I mean, like I said, I grew up here. I was part of WSA and San Diego Spirit. And, you know, it was one of the coolest things. We used to joke that, you know, it's like being in college without the classes, you know, you
Yeah,
get breakfast
camaraderie
together.
and
Yeah, you go to the field and it's like, okay, you know, what else are we going to do? Well, you know, and it was just the most amazing feeling to be a part of that. And now that pro soccer is back in San Diego, I think Jill Ellis, you know, I mean, she is just so accomplished at every level. And I think she's, with her at the helm, good things are going to happen for San Diego. You know, I think we're going to look to see how we can have synergies with Loyal and the Wave as well. But it's going to be tough when San Diego plays Angel City, because I will be in San Diego, except for on those days. You know, I might
give me more of that. I need more. Give me some more.
Split jerseys. But you know, I think because I've probably been more involved with Angel City a bit longer, you know, and being a part investor with that, and really having that be something that my family's been a part of for well over a year now. It runs deep within my heart. So on those days, it'll be Angel City. The rest of the time, I wish San Diego Wave nothing but the best.
yeah, that's cool. You can definitely root for two teams. Like, it's, you know, unless we need to come up with our name. Like Hector's a big fan of the rivalry, so we need to come up with our name for our El Trafico, as it were.
It's definitely going to be a good rivalry, and it's awesome to see that, you know, you think about how long the, you know, NWSL has been around now, and there hasn't been anything in Southern California. Now we have two teams. I mean, that is just something special. I think it's
Two
great.
women's teams.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So it's great for the women's game. It's going to be exciting. And, you know, it's just going to be great for the growth and for these young girls to see that it's possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about having a pathway too. And you look on the USL side, and they're launching a super league as well as a W league. And that those two leagues alone triples the opportunity for women to play professionally beyond college. You know, with such a small league in the NWSL, it's such small, limited numbers. And now on the USL side as well, there's a pro pathway. And it's just great to see that there's so many more opportunities, because there's players that maybe haven't gotten the look through the collegiate program for the national team that now will have their opportunity, whether it's in the USL or NWSL, to get seen and potentially take that next step. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is very exciting. And sometimes college almost slows you down if you're trying to be a professional. You know, it's, if you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's exciting. It's, you know, that's for my generation, we were like, we need our education because there's nothing beyond national team. But now you're seeing more and more of these young girls, young women taking the risk of like, you know, I'm going to go pro and see how it goes. And it's, for us, the first time was like, you know, that's
exactly.
But I think it's good progress too.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to see it. I mean, obviously as a female, I'm not trying to commandeer the conversation. I apologize, Hector.
Please.
But no, as a female, and as a youth soccer player too, I grew up like you know, I started playing when I was a young girl, and I didn't have a high school team. That's how old I am, quote unquote. But like my high school didn't have a girls team. So I didn't get that luxury to carry it on. I just, you know, and I play as an adult. I play in city leagues and whatever, but
That's
it's,
awesome.
you know, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and,
I'm
and that's true. There's so much more opportunity. And, you know, I was very fortunate to ride the wave of Title IX, and just the perfect timing with all that. So it's just, that's why it's important to get back to the game. It's important to make sure the game's in a good spot. And, you know, there has been a lot of progress, but there's still plenty more to be had. And
Absolutely.
I can guarantee all of us from my generation and the players retiring now or still playing, you know, that we want to push it forward and continue to put the spotlight on it.
I love it so much. Hector?
Yeah, that's a good segue actually, because right now every channel you turn on in Spanish, there's on the weekends, it's like women's league soccer in Mexico. Do you think the growth of that league can be a synergy with the NWSL? Maybe like, you know, the NWSL gets some players from the Mexican league. Do you think that's like a good symbiotic relationship to have between the two nations?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think that's, you know, you look at collegiately, you know, that happens all the time collegiately, you know, even, you know, some Mexican Americans who don't get a chance at the US team go down and play for Mexico, and the opportunity to play for your country is just something so incredible. And I think, you know, seeing more and more women's leagues, whether it's in Mexico, you know, even just abroad in general, the opportunity, you know, to go play for a Manchester United and all these teams is something just like, gosh, I would have died for that opportunity. So I think it's only natural that there'll be that, you know, symbiotic relationship and the growth. And again, it's just for these women, whether they're finishing college, foregoing college, the fact that they have more than just one pathway now is exciting because everybody's different. Everybody's journey is different. And, you know, I was fortunate that through college I was seen, but there's plenty of players that had great collegiate careers that weren't seen, that through this women's league now they will. So the more opportunity, the better.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had to eat some crow with my buddies. We were like betting. Sorry to tell, but like, yeah, this thing will last in Mexico for like more than 2 months. It's like I was enthralled in the final, dude. I was like, oh, these girls play harder than the guys sometimes. It's like so intense. But yeah, hey, you got one more, Mary Beth, before we take off? Or?
No, but it was funny that you just said they play more intense than the guys. I have said this since since the women's soccer came around, and I'm putting this is on record right now. I've always said the U.S. women's national team should play against the men's national team. I would love to see that outcome. I swear to God, I don't think it would be the slaughter that everybody thinks it would be.
Yeah, they would definitely give him a heck of a fight. And, you know, my son says it too. He's like, Mom, how come it takes the guys so long to get up off the ground sometimes? I'm like, good question, buddy. That's a great
theater.
question.
Yes.
They'll never do it because Pulisic will get into. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much. I know you got a busy schedule with Shannon MacMillan. You gave me a lot of good material. Mary Beth, you think you're doing something on your end, hopefully? Because I'm doing mostly the Spanish
so much,
stuff.
yes. And I truly appreciate just the opportunity to chat with you. And I love your openness and talking about all of it. I love it. I truly appreciate it, especially as a female. Again, not trying to
I appreciate that.
this.
No,
but I truly feel it. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys doing all this, Jill and, you know, Angel City 12 and all of that. It's awesome. Stay.
Well, I appreciate you guys here. If you guys need anything, thank you so much.
Hey, have a great day, Shannon. We appreciate it.
Stay safe, guys.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.